Coming up on China Report, Chinese President Xi Jinping has met with leaders of Vietnam, South Korea, Japan, the Philippines, and Chile on the sidelines of the 25th APEC Economic Leaders Meeting. And this year's China's Singles Day has seen another record-breaking sales figure. Hello and welcome to this edition of China Report. I'm Zhang Zhao in Beijing. Chinese President Xi Jinping, who is also General Secretary of the Communist Party of China's Central Committee, has arrived in the Vietnamese capital of Hanoi for a state visit to the Southeastern Asian country. It is Xi's second visit to Vietnam as China's head of state and top CPC leader. Chinese President Xi Jinping has met with leaders of Vietnam, South Korea, Japan, the Philippines, and Chile on the sidelines of the 25th APEC Economic Leaders Meeting in Vietnam's city of Da Nang. China Report has more.
President Xi met with Vietnamese Prime Minister Nguyen Xuan Phuc on Saturday, urging the two neighbors to extend the breadth and depth of their comprehensive strategic cooperation. Phuc said Vietnam cherishes the traditional friendship with China and hopes to enhance cooperation with China in economic and scientific fields. Xi also met with South Korean President Moon Jae-in on bilateral ties and the Korean Peninsula situation. Xi reiterated China's stance on the issue of the terminal high-altitude area defense. The two leaders also exchanged views on the Korean Peninsula situation. Xi told Moon that China sincerely hopes for the best for the peninsula and encourages South Korea to resume contact and dialogue with the Democratic People's Republic of Korea and restart cooperation for reconciliation. Also on Saturday, Xi met with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, urging Japan to take more practical actions to improve ties with China and properly manage differences between the two countries in a constructive way. Xi said to improve China-Japan ties, the key is mutual trust. China and Japan are cooperation partners, not threat to each other. Xi also met with Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte on strengthening bilateral ties. He said since Duterte's visit to China in October last year, bilateral ties have opened a new chapter. Meanwhile, Xi and his Chilean counterpart, Michelle Bachelet, witnessed the signing of a bilateral deal on upgrading the free trade agreement between the two countries. Xi underlined that this is China's first FTA upgrade completed with a Latin American country. Bachelet said the Chile-China relationship has made many firsts in the course of developing relations between Latin America and China, adding that her country will carry forward the pioneering spirit and advance the practical cooperation between the two sides.
Member economies from the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, or APEC, have pledged to foster a shared future of peaceful, stable, dynamic, interconnected, and prosperous Asia-Pacific community.
In a declaration issued after the APEC Economic Leaders Week, the 21 APEC economies said, quote, "We reaffirm our support for the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development as a framework for inclusive growth. The APEC economies are determined to advance economic, financial, and social inclusion, with a vision to build an inclusive, accessible, sustainable, healthy, and resilient APEC community by 2030. Against a backdrop of rising protectionism and deglobalization, they agreed to create new drivers for regional economic integration. APEC economies also said in a declaration that they remain committed to attaining the Bogor goals of free and open trade investment in the Asia-Pacific region. Furthermore, APEC economies decided to work together to realize the potential of an internet and digital economy. Meanwhile, the declaration underlined APEC's crucial role in support of a rules-based, free, open, fair, transparent, and inclusive multilateral trading system. Established in 1989, APEC is Pacific Rim's premier economic forum aimed at supporting sustainable economic growth and prosperity in Asia-Pacific. APEC member countries accounted for some 60% of the world's GDP and 50% of global trade.
Known as China's Singles Day, November 11th, has become an online shopping spree since 2009. And this year's Singles Day just saw another record-breaking sales figure. China Report has the details.
At just 3 minutes past midnight on Saturday, China's Singles Day sales on Alibaba's Tmall hit 10 billion yuan, or about $1.5 billion US. Alibaba said total sales on Tmall on November the 11th reached a record of 168.2 billion yuan, or about $25.3 billion US. Double 11 is not only online in China, but is now cross-border and in brick-and-mortar stores. He added that over 1 million retailers worldwide have registered both online and offline stores to participate in the promotion. According to Alibaba, as of 1 a.m. Saturday, transactions has been made in 201 countries and regions, including Japan, the United States, Australia, Germany, and the Republic of Korea. Known as China's Singles Day, November the 11th has become an online shopping spree since 2009, when Alibaba's Tmall made its first online sales promotion. The shopping day is becoming bigger in scale, given JD.com, Kala.com, and other cross-border e-commerce platforms came to share the big online shopping cake.
Inspired by the highly successful Singles Day shopping spree in China, many of Norway's online retailers also launched a sales promotion to celebrate the day. Take a closer look. Komplett, the biggest online retailer in Norway, launched the Single Days campaign that offered discounts on all the products on its website. Norway's online newspapers and many Norwegian online players have focused on the Singles Day and believed this may be the start of something big also in the Nordic country. The newspaper also published a long list of various e-retailers that offer discounted products for Single Days campaign. Power, one of Norway's leading consumer electronics retail chains, said it has decided to celebrate Singles Day this year and turn it into Singles Weekend. All promotional products will last until Sunday. However, the emergent Singles Day sales campaign in Norway has not been confined to online space. Lefdal, one of Norway's biggest electronics and household appliance stores, launched a massive Single Days campaign both online and in its bricks-and-mortar stores. November 11th has been celebrated as China's Singles Day since the 1990s. China's largest online retailer Alibaba introduced the Singles Day shopping event in 2009, and it has grown to become one of the world's biggest shopping spree. It has been 2 years since Chinese President Xi Jinping's Thought on Diplomacy was put forward. It provides theoretical guidelines for China's diplomacy and offers China's perspectives for forming a new kind of international relations. Today, we're taking a closer look at how Chinese approaches and solutions might help improve ties with major countries.
45 years ago, a group of Chinese ping-pong world champions traveled to the US, following the US's team's own historic visit to China in 1971. Tensions had characterized China-US ties during the Cold War, but normalization of relations was gradually made possible through ping-pong, an unlikely diplomatic tool. This September, athletes who experienced China's ping-pong diplomacy firsthand reunited in the US to celebrate the 45th anniversary of the Chinese team's first visit to the US in 1972. History tells us the world is more peaceful and prosperous when major countries live in harmony and work together in partnerships. China-US relations are seen as some of the most important in the world and are closely watched by the international community. Since the start of this year, Chinese President Xi Jinping and US President Donald Trump have maintained close contact on issues of common concern, drawing much international attention. On Wednesday, US President Donald Trump kicked off his 3-day visit to China, creating a significant opportunity for the two countries to strengthen bilateral cooperation. The visit is Trump's first China trip after assuming the US presidency and comes after the 19th CPC National Congress. Chinese President Xi Jinping said on Thursday the Sino-US relations are at a new historic starting point. During their recent talks in Beijing, the presidents agreed that cooperation is the only correct choice for China and the US, and a better future would only be achieved through win-win cooperation. The China-Russian relationship is also seen as a successful model of major country diplomacy. In the past 5 years, Xi has visited Russia 6 times and met with Russian President Vladimir Putin over 20 times at various occasions. During Xi's last phone conversation with Putin, the Chinese president said that whatever volatile changes may take place in the international arena, China will not change its determination to strengthen relations with Russia. Putin also said at a recent think tank meeting that Russia has great cooperation plans with China.
When we meet, we publicly call each other friends. This corresponds to the level of our personal relationship.
As of September, a total of 500,000 tons of fruits and vegetables had been exported from China to Russia via Heihe, an important port in Heilongjiang province. The figure was up nearly 40% year-on-year. And on the 1st of November, China and Russia signed nearly 20 deals in various areas, including investment, energy and space exploration. China-Russia relations have been strengthened by these kinds of cooperations for years, offering an example of a harmonious partnership between major countries. China has also made its presence felt more generally on the world stage. In the past few years, it has hosted several international summits, attracting worldwide attention and kindling fascination for this old nation with a new vision. Host cities such as Beijing, Hangzhou and Xiamen have shown off their hospitality and dynamism at APEC, G20 and BRICS summits. Those summits have offered great platforms for the world to get a closer look at China, know more about China, and even revise their impressions of China. At these international occasions, China has also offered its own vision for reforming the global governance system and establishing a fairer and more equitable international order. In 2013, Chinese President Xi Jinping put forward the Belt and Road Initiative as a response to the new dynamics in China's internal and external environment. The initiative is aimed at advancing China's opening up, sharing China's development opportunities with other countries, and injecting strong impetus into global development. In September 2015, Xi proposed a roadmap of building a community of shared future for all mankind. The concept was incorporated into a UN Security Council resolution earlier this year as a recognition of China's contribution to global governance. China has also made great achievements in poverty reduction efforts. The country has set a target of eliminating rural poverty by 2020, 10 years ahead of the UN's target of eliminating poverty in all forms by 2030.
Cambodia and China signed a memorandum of understanding on e-commerce cooperation on Friday with the aim of assisting Cambodia to develop its online business operations.
The deal was inked between Cambodian Commerce Ministry Secretary of State and Chinese Vice Minister of Commerce in Phnom Penh. China says under the MOU, the two countries will step up e-commerce cooperation under the Comprehensive Strategic Partnership, especially under the Belt and Road Initiative. China is Cambodia's largest trading partner and investor. E-commerce refers to the purchase of goods and services via our online system, which would bring a lot of new business opportunities for young entrepreneurs in Cambodia and undoubtedly contribute to its national economic growth. Cambodian Commerce Ministry Under Secretary of State said online business operations in Cambodia have grown rapidly in recent years thanks to the increasing numbers of internet users. However, the Southeast Asian nation has not yet had a law on e-commerce. According to Cambodia's Telecommunications Authority, over 8 million of Cambodia's 15 million people have now access to the internet, most of whom get online via smartphones.
With more than 40 containers on it, the cargo train bound for Chinese inland city of Xi'an departed Kouvola in southeastern Finland on Friday.
It will take 17 days to run 9,000 kilometers to cross the Eurasia continent, passing through countries including Russia and Kazakhstan before reaching its final destination of northwest China's Xi'an. Compared with the normal sea freight, the cargo rail line can shorten the travel time by 30 days. Goods packed in the containers are all made in Finland, ranging from machinery, timber, workwear to ship components.
I'm convinced that this new Silk Road between Finland and China will prosper and flourish. The railway connection is environmentally friendly, fast and economically very competitive to the businesses.
As planned, a total of 5 trains would run between Kouvola and Xi'an by the end of this year. At the same time, a train would depart Xi'an towards Kouvola every week.
We are very pleasantly surprised to see that, through such a railway route, we have achieved communication among the four countries, which are China, Finland, Kazakhstan, and Russia, the connectivity in facilities, the smooth flow of trade activities, the financial integration, as well as commonalities among the people. In other words, this is indeed a practical and fruitful cooperation.
Ambassador of Kazakhstan to Finland reminded the achievements of the Belt and Road Initiative.
In long-term perspective, it should be a vast platform aimed at bringing many nations together, expanding cultural exchanges, as well as making solid our educational, scientific, and technological ties.
More economic news from China. Up first, the country's commercial bank's bad loan ratio remained unchanged in the third quarter amid the government's strengthened efforts to rein in risks.
Data from the banking regulator showed the non-performing loan or NPL ratio of commercial banks stood at 1.74% at the end of September, flat with the previous quarter. The China Banking Regulatory Commission said as of September, outstanding bad loans from commercial banks amounted to 1.67 trillion yuan, or about $251.8 billion. The NPL ratio declined for the first time since 2012 to the current level in the last quarter of 2016, an encouraging sign for an economy plagued by piling debt. China's fiscal revenue rose 9.2% year-on-year to 15 trillion yuan, or $2.27 trillion during the January to October period. According to the Ministry of Finance, the growth slightly retreated from the growth of 9.7% in the first three quarters, but was markedly above the 4.5% rate in 2016. In October alone, fiscal revenue was up 5.4% to 1.62 trillion yuan. China promised a more proactive and effective fiscal policy last year, with a fiscal deficit set at 3% of GDP, or 2.4 trillion yuan, up 200 billion yuan from 2016. Sales of new energy vehicles in China more than doubled in October, while overall auto sales grew steadily. The China Association of Automobile Manufacturers, or COM, said Friday that some 92,000 new energy vehicles were produced in October, up 85.9% year-on-year. Total auto sales remained stable, with some 2.7 million vehicles sold last month, up 2% year-on-year. But growth slowed from the 5.7% growth in September. In the first 10 months of the year, auto output and sales increased by 4.3% and 4.1% year-on-year, respectively. The robust growth came as China has intensified efforts to encourage the use of new energy vehicles to ease pressure on the environment.
More than 3 years ago, Chinese President Xi Jinping proposed to build the Silk Road Economic Belt and the 21st Century Maritime Silk Road. Looking back at 2016, the Belt and Road Initiative has already produced some early achievements, promoting connectivity and opening up possibilities for development along the Asian trade route.
On one day in golden October in Kashgar of China's Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, a fleet of 50 trucks carrying large containers started to roll along the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, or CPEC. After a month-long journey, the Shan trade convoy arrived at its destination, the Gwadar port of Pakistan, on November 12, 2016. The containers carried by the fleet were shipped to the United Arab Emirates and other countries. That marked the Gwadar port's first export of containers to overseas destinations, and showed that the port has returned to its design handling capacity. Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif said that CPEC is destined to transform the entire country. It could open up a world of possibilities, not only for Pakistan, but also for the Central Asian states. In February 2016, China Railway Tunnel Group completed building the Kamchik Tunnel in Uzbekistan, the longest tunnel in Central Asia. It is part of the 169-kilometer Angran-Pap railway line, a major state project. After the line's completion, Uzbekistan's domestic transport will no longer have to go through foreign territories. According to official data, the Kamchik Tunnel transported more than 34 billion standard volume of natural gas to China in 2016. That's an 11% growth year-on-year. Zhao Lei, a professor at China Central Party School, said that for the Belt and Road Initiative, 2016 is the year of implementing landmark projects. many European countries have high approval rates for the Belt and Road Initiative. The Visit China-Europe trains is evidence of its acceptance and popularity. Since the Belt and Road proposal, trains running between Europe and China have been increasing. By June 2016, trains have been running nearly 2,000 times between China and Europe, with a total of import and export value of $17 billion. Many other projects are also underway. China-Belarus Industrial Park is in development. The Hungary-Serbia Railroad is to be constructed by the Chinese side soon. Cooperation between China and Central and Eastern European countries has been further expanded. The Silk Road Economic Belt, with its focus on inclusiveness and openness, has become a vital link connecting regional development and China's transformation. On December 25, 2016, the construction of China Laos Railway officially started. Launched in late 2015, the project is expected to be completed by 2020. Once completed, a trip from Vientiane to the Chinese border would take only 4 hours, turning Laos from a landlocked country into a connected nation. On January 21, 2016, Indonesian President Joko Widodo launched the country's first ever high-speed railway project, the Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway. With trains going at a maximum speed of 350 kilometers per hour, the travel time between the two cities will be cut from over 3 hours to less than 1 hour. In its expected 3-year construction, the project will provide over 40,000 jobs for Indonesians each year and form an economic zone along the railway. The Belt and Road Initiative provides opportunities not only for a new phase of China's opening up, but also for the growth of the world economy. On August 10, 2016, Chinese shipping giant COSCO acquired 67% stake of Piraeus Port Authority through the Athens Stock Exchange. It thereby became the official controlling shareholder of the Greek port. Piraeus is expected to operate as a hub in Europe for the 21st century maritime Silk Road and to connect the Silk Road Economic Belt with the China-Europe Land-Sea Express line.
That's all for this edition of China Report. You can find out more on our website, en.cncnews.cn. Thank you for being with us. Bye for now.
云天无际，承载梦想。中国南方航空是中国运输飞机最多、航线网络最发达、年客运量最大的航空公司。亚洲第一，全球第3，是南航缔造的业界奇迹。蓝天壮志情，云海谱华章。
同心地产，芝加哥最大的华人中介团队，无论是家居或是商业地产，给你带来全方位的最佳服务。
专业的团队，丰厚的经验。
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to the Lake Cook Law Group.
投资理财、法律咨询，芝加哥专业律师团队为您的梦想提供最安全的保障。
Little Chinese Channel, 小小张王, Lesson 21. In this lesson, we will be learning these 6 Chinese characters. What's this? 久 means in a long time. 很久 means in a long time. 不久 means soon. 久 is the building block of these 2 characters. If we break this apart, move it a bit over here, this character is 欠 means to owe. 欠债 means in debt. Next, we will be learning a new root character. What's this? Ma. Ma. Ma means horse. 小马. 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 小马 is a pony. 马上. 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 马上 means right away. If we give this stroke a hook at the end and put a dot over here and a second dot in the middle, it turns into 鸟. 鸟. 鸟 means bird. 小鸟. 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 小鸟 is a small bird. If we remove the dot in the middle, it turns into 乌. 乌. 乌 means dark. 乌云. 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 乌云 is dark clouds. Next, we'll be teaching you a new root character. What's this? 女. 女. 女 means female. 女士. 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 女士 is a lady. 女人. 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 女人 is a woman. Okay, let's write. Remember when you're writing to follow the stroke sequence. 九线马鸟乌女 Let's take a break. Bye-bye, the lesson.